Hello and welcome to the Wealthy Trades Daily Market Forecast for April 1st, 2015. Let's get started. Let's first go into what we did yesterday. And if you remember yesterday, we were a buyer of the markets and we pointed out because of the dashboard that we wanted to be long in the XLE, okay, the energy sector. That was the best performing sector yesterday, and that was the sector that we wanted to go in. If you would have taken a long position in the XLE, even though the market was down pretty substantially yesterday, the XLE opened at 77.45 and closed at 77.58. So therefore, it would have been a slightly profitable day. Not bad in a market that was down quite a bit. But what's even better than that is the stock we called out, which is RRC. If you would have went long RRC, and we called this out yesterday before the market opens, this is the best stock. This was the best stock in the energy sector to go long. And if you would have went long at the open, it opened at 51.27 and it closed at 52.04, almost 1.5% return. Now that was in a market that was down almost 1%. That's huge outperformance. So Wealthy Trades dashboard and the Wealthy Trades team, we do it again. So proud to say that. Now let's get rolling on today. I also want to point out real quick that you should go to that website I've been talking about. The website is wealthytrades.instapage.com. Okay, when you go to that website, it's going to take you to a site that looks like this. And what I want you to do, you get all this free. You get the Market Maker Strategies ebook. You get the dashboard for 2 weeks absolutely free. You get our trading techniques videos and these daily market forecasts. What I want you to do, it's real simple. Just put in your name and your email address, and we will get that ebook to you as fast as we possibly can. Very powerful. Again, the website, very simple, is wealthytrades.com.instapage.com. Go to that website, get our ebook absolutely free. I'll get it to you right away. Yesterday, again, was a great day. Long RRC up about 1.5% in comparison to the market that was down about 1%. So what are we doing for today? Well, as we know, market's still in an uptrend, but it's struggling. I mean, the market is struggling to really, it's been bumping at this top for a long time, and it's really having a difficult time. Now, I have a bullish bias, and the reason I have a bullish bias is because on a weekly and a monthly basis, which is longer term, we're still in a pretty aggressive uptrend. But the problem we're having is this top that we're at. We're starting to consolidate. I believe that if we do break out, we're going to see a real nice leg higher, but we need to start closing higher. We need to start seeing some higher highs in the markets for that to happen. So it'll be interesting. I think there are some levels that we need to break on the upside. 210 to 11 on the S&P or the SPY is very, very important. So we'll see how it handles that. I'll kind of go into the SPY in a minute here and we'll analyze that. But before we do, let's figure out what we're going to do for today. We've got an uptrend, but the quality is pretty poor. It's only 34.3%. So therefore, we can't just blindly go long the stock market. That's not a good plan because the quality of this uptrend is not good, and I don't want to just sit on my hands. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a pairs trade, okay? And I've already pared this down, but we want to find long opportunities in the consumer discretionaries, and we want to find short opportunities in the technology sector because the consumer discretionary is the best sector. All right, it's a sector that's moving up overall. And the quality, it's got the highest quality, whereas the XLK, the technology sector, is a sector that's moving down, and it's got the highest quality on the downside. Now, here's what's interesting. Okay, the XLK, or I'm sorry, the XLY itself, right? The sector spider, the XLY, is in a downtrend, yet the sector is in an uptrend. Again, that is very unique. There's actually an opportunity within this that you could take advantage of. There's a strategy, a pair strategy in a market like this that you could actually do where you could go short the XLY because it's moving down, right? It's in a downtrend, and long the best stock within the XLY and do a pairs trade like that. So in this case, I've already pared this down, but you could go short XLY and long TGT, target. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go long a stock in the XLY and short a stock in the technology sector. And I've already pared this down using our pare down technique, which we talk about in that ebook. All right, when you go to wealthytrades.com.instapage.com, just type in your name and your email address, and we will send you that ebook and tell you our strategies and our concepts and the way we do our pare down analysis. We'll go step by step through it. I'll give you a glimpse of it. Here's the ebook. It's a step-by-step process on how we pare things down, how we find the best stocks. Like, how did we find RRC yesterday? I mean, have you guys even ever traded RRC? I got to tell you, that might be one of the first times that I've ever traded RRC. How did we find it? Well, we used the Wealthy Trades dashboard, the market trend quality, to pare it down and find the best stocks. That's what we do, and that's what I've done already today. I've did this within the XLY, so within the consumer discretionaries, we've got Target. Target is the best long position today. It closed at 82.07. It's very important to understand the levels to win data too. Okay, so what this is telling us is Target closed yesterday at 82.07. It's got an expected high today. All right, so it should move up historically to 82.70. It should move down to 81.05, and as you should be able to realize that the distance between the closing price and the high and the closing price and the low is the same. Okay, it's a standard distance that's dynamic, as volatility increases, but it's the same distance on the closing price. But here's the reason why Target's the best. This also shows and highlights the power of the trend. I'm not sure if I'm having internet issues or what, but hopefully I don't lose you guys. But anyway, what we got going on here is these distances are the exact same, but as we can see, Target has a 57.7% probability historically it hits this upside level 57.7% of the time. It only hits the downside level, which is the same exact distance from closing price, 30.8% of the time. That right there shows the power of the trend. When it hits this upside level, it has a tendency to keep going because and rally even higher before the close of the day because it makes money. It makes $13.24. So it's profitable. When it hits this downside level, remember this is in the direction of the trend, it has a tendency of bouncing off. I'll show you what this looks like on the chart. When it hits the downside level, it has a tendency of selling off, bouncing off that level, and then rallying higher and closing higher. And I know that because it has a profit on the levels to win profit on the counter trend side. So that's great. The next thing I want to see is when it hits the upside expectation or the trend expectation, does it close above that most often? And my indication of that is if the levels on levels is more than 50% of the HPP. So in this case, it would be, it'd have to be, 20, essentially 28 and a half. If it's 28 and a half, 29 right here, it meets the requirements. Well, it's 36 and a half. I want to see the trend side less than half. So when it hits this side, this is my indication of how often it closes below that. Well, I don't want it to close below that. I want it to close it above it. So I want to see when it hits it 30.8% of the time. I want to see this level on level number low. So I want to see this number high, this number low. It meets all my requirements. Target is the best long position today. What we're going to do is I'm going to go long at the open. If Target rallies up and hits 82.70, I'm going to add to the position there. If it sells off and hits 81.50, I'm going to add to the position there. I'm going to hold it all day long and close it at the end of the day, much like we did yesterday with RRC. Okay. eBay, and today we're doing a pairs trade, and the reason why we're doing a pairs trade, we want to go long the best sector or the best stock of the best sector and short the worst stock in the worst sector, is because the quality is below 50%. So eBay is the worst stock, or the best, let me say that in this way. eBay is the best stock to short because the technology sector, it's in the technology sector, and the technology sector is the best sector to short today. And eBay hits the downside. Get this. This is really good stats. eBay closed at 57.68. Has an expected downside of 57.13. That's the trend side because it's moving down. An upside of 58.23. Again, same distance between closing price and the trend side and closing price and the counter trend. Same exact, but this shows the power of the trend. It hits the trend side because it's moving down 69.2% of the time. In comparison, it only hits the upside 23.1% of the time on in similar market environments on the same type of days. When it hits this level, this downside level has a tendency of closing below it, because when it hits it, it has a high levels on levels, and it makes money. When it rallies up and it hits this upside, it has a tendency of bouncing off and closing lower, which is what I want to see, because we're going to short eBay. So we'll look at this on the chart. All right, so when it hits this downside level, it typically continues to fall. When it hits this upside level, it typically hits that and then sells off from there. That's good because we're shorting. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to short eBay at the open, and if it hits 57.13, I'm going to add to the position there. If it hits 58.23, I'm going to add to the position there. I'm going to hold it all day long and close it at the end of the day. So the game plan is short eBay, add at 57.13, add at 58.23, close at the end of the day. At the same time, go long TGT, add a long position at 82.70. If it hits that, add 81.50. If it hits that, close at the end of the day. That is the best pairs trade for today, and the last 2 days have been great. This week has been a very good week. We did a pairs trade on Monday, made money. We picked the perfect sector yesterday in a very bad tape and a very big down day. We picked the one sector that actually made money, and RRC was the best stock. It was up about 1.5%. Let's see if we can do it again today. I do want a quick update on the weeklies. We had a little bit of a data correction. The weekly, rolling into the week, the weekly, it was saying that the XLV, the healthcare sector, was the best sector to be in. It's actually the consumer staples, the XLP, is the best sector to be in for this week. I am in the XLV, the healthcare sector. In fact, I'm in ENDP. Right now, I'm going to stay in that, but just so you know, technically the best best sector this week is the consumer staples sector, and I've already pared this down. The best stock within the consumer staples sector is KR. KR is the best stock technically this week. I know that originally I said it was in the healthcare sector, and ENDP was the best. I'm still in that one, but technically it's in the consumer staples, and KR is the best. Same thing on the monthly. Okay, so it's now April 1st, and we were long the XLV all last month, which had substantial outperformance of the overall market. This month, it's still the XLV. I believe I had said it was the XLP. That was wrong. It is not the XLP. The XLP hasn't gotten beat up all that much, so that's good. But you should still be in the healthcare sector. And just so you know, the best stock to be in all month long in the healthcare sector, they're all really good, but I've pared this down. The best stock, if you want to use the pared down analysis, is UNH. Okay, so all month long, the best all April, be in the healthcare sector. Quality's still good, so you could still be long, be in the healthcare sector. The best stock in the healthcare sector is UNH. Okay, that is the best play. And on a weekly basis, technically the quality is below, so what you could do is you could pair this long XLP and short XLE. But anyway, for today, what we're doing is we're going long Target, short eBay, and I really highly recommend you guys go to that website, that wealthytrades.com, .instapage.com. Go to that site, okay? And when you go to that site, you will be able to get our free ebook. It's packed. Let me show you what that looks like real quick here. It's packed full of amazing information. This is detailed information on our strategies, what we do. The website looks like this. It's real simple. When you go there, all you got to do is type in your name, your email address, and hit done. And I'll get an email, and I will send you an email right away with that ebook attached. It's absolutely phenomenal. Let's make it a great day. All right, long Target, short eBay, all day long, closed at the end of the day. If you have any questions, email us at info@wealthytrades.com. Make it a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.